I'm just going to ramble, and I'll sort it all out once I get it in the video editor, and then just like chip out all the bits like this where I'm just talking nonsense.
Sounds good.
Right, so folks, welcome to our first battle report. My name is Si. This is Chris.
Hello.
And this is going to be our first and possibly our last, depending on how difficult this is to do, Crusade battle report. We're kicking off our campaign, the Space Marines of the Imperial Fists versus the Necrons. We've both got our Crusade forces all set up. Now, just a word of warning, this is our first game of 9th, and it's our first Crusade game. So it's going to be a little bit ropey in places, so I'm going to try and cut this out and make it like clips instead of one long reel. Otherwise, it's going to go on forever. So yeah, here's the little introduction to our campaign. So this is the planet of Achillon. It is an industrial world. There's mining, there's manufactorums dotted all over the surface. And this is somewhere the Imperial Fists stopped off at on their part of the Indomitus Crusade, making their way out to Pariah Nexus, maybe somewhere else. They stopped off here for a relatively routine resupply and refuel. However, once they made planetfall, they discovered something insidious was going on beneath the surface. A Genestealer cult had taken root deep in the underhive and in the labor force of the mining crews. And Space Marines did what Space Marines do best. They rooted out the xenos infestation with extreme prejudice.
Bunch of brothers smashed.
Yeah, yes. They kicked ass and they took names. Once the cult had been purged, they decided that they couldn't just, up and leave the planet undefended, because cults are slippery things. You leave one Genestealer alive, and it'll go off and infect others, and then you'll have the same problem all over again in about 10 years. So the Imperial Fist decided they were going to, while the rest of the Crusade pushed on, they were going to leave a small detachment here in order to fortify the planet. Construct some fortresses, some watchtowers, some easily defensible places in case the cult rises up again. And also this is going to make it an ideal place for other Space Marine chapters and Imperial forces to resupply and use as a jumping off point for the Indomitus Crusade. So yeah, our first game of the campaign is going to be set here, just on in the Badlands, where a watchtower, a fortified watch post, is under construction. However, Genestealers are not the only xenos they're going to have to contend with. The Necrons are here, and they're here on this planet to gain access to a vault deep beneath the surface. This vault belongs to another dynasty and is full of arcane relics, eldritch technology, and they plan to gain access to it. But since it belongs to another dynasty, they have to do it the hard way. No teleporting straight down. They're going to have to secure the surface and make their way into the planet's core. So this is what they aim to do. Alright, so this is my my Crusade force, or the first deployment of my Crusade force. So our rosters are about 50 power each, and this represents 25 power, or 500 points of forces for the first battle. Keeping it relatively simple, just lots of Necron warriors to try out the new reanimation protocols. My dynasty is named the Malaphract dynasty. They keep to the Novok dynastic codes, which means they like getting up close and personal. So my overlord here, his name is Acerak the Undying. And if you know where that name's from, then internet cookie for you. He is Overlord with Hyperphase Glaive and Tachyon Arrow. And we've spent a couple of requisition points off the bat to give him Warlord trait, give him Relic. So we've given him the, where's the book? Here we go. Nano Scarab Casket. A vial of black crystal filled with thousands of tiny canoptek automatons. So this is going to let him regain 2 wounds when he uses his living metal ability. Which means if he's not killed, he's going to heal himself straight back up. And the Warlord trait I gave him was Enduring Will, which reduces the damage of any attacks against him by 1. So, yeah, I thought this was good to tie into the whole Undying theme. He's not renowned as being like the best, duelist or strategist. He's just really, really hard to kill. So, yeah, that's his thing. Next to him we have Plasmancer Irazar and his 2 attendant crypto thralls. These are Igor and Lurch, because as far as I understand from the lore, they're cobbled together out of bits of other crypteks. So, yeah, thought that was fun. And then behind them, just got 2 squads of Necron warriors, 10 each, 1 with fighters, 1 with reapers. So facing off against them are the Imperial Fists. This is the remainder of the Crusade force that's been left behind to fortify this planet. Chris, do you want to tell us what's what?
Yeah, for sure. So this force is led by Primaris Captain Spruce Arcturus. He's got a power sword, relic shield, and bolt pistol. Beside him, just a 10-man unit of assault intercessors. Standard loadout. Behind them, we've got a 3-man unit of Primaris Outriders with chain swords and bolt pistols. And then this freshly painted Primaris Invader ATV with multi-melta.
So you spent some requisition to beef up your Warlord as well, didn't you?
I did. So I've given him, kind of in Imperial Fist flavor, some more fortifications to his defensive natures. So as Warlord trait, he was given Iron Resolve, which essentially gives him +1 wound and a 6-up kind of save against each individual wound, kind of like Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
And then for a relic, he's been given the Armor Indomitus, which is another +1 wound. So he's got 2 extra wounds from his gear, which should help him to stay alive a little bit longer. That takes him to a 2+ save and gives him a once per game 3+ invulnerable save.
Wow, he's going to be a tank.
So trying to keep him alive, he's going to be kind of the linchpin of this whole force and the one to command this ragtag group of guys. So we'll see how they fare against all of the horrible xenos technology that they're going to be up against.
Okay, so here's what it looks like after deployment. Chris is the defender, so he dropped first, and then we alternated back and forth. He chose the deployment zone up against the cliffs. A nice defensible position there in the rocks, although with the Outriders and ATV, I don't think he's going to stay there for long. So we've got the fast attack in the middle, on the left flank there, and the assault intercessors taking cover behind the rock, ready to spring forward and chop up some Necrons. The captain there, dramatically framed in the archway.
Sleeping in the cave. It's just part of his daily schedule.
Yeah. Necrons on the other side. They've touched down from their tomb ship. They're out in the open, and they're looking to assess the battlefield and see what kind of defense these lesser beings can muster. So we've got the Flayer warriors just standing on the point there, ready to claim that. Plasmancer and his Cryptosaurs in the middle, backing them up. And we have the Reapers and the Overlord on the right flank, eyeing up the Assault Intercessors and their captain, ready to push forwards. So, do a roll-off for the first turn. Wait, I need a dice. Alright. Well, might as well get one roll on camera, because we'll be too busy trying to do everything else for the rest of the match. So you got a 4 in Imperial Fist dice. And Necrons have a... Oh, it's the big 6. Who is going first? I have to think about it. Oh, right. End of the movement phase. The Imperial Fist have rushed forward from the cliffs to meet the Necron threat. Bikes pushing straight up the middle, slightly slowed by the crater, but sitting right on Objective 4 there. And the Assault Intercessors and the Captain both advanced. Nothing really in range yet, so just pushing a bit further out of the deployment zone, ready to make a possible charge next turn. The ATVs come around the flank here and is lining up on the Necron Warriors with its multi-melter. Are in the Devastator Doctrine, so that'll be doing extra AP. And Necron's got command protocols, which is a new thing for me. So at the start of the first battle round, we have engaged the protocol of Vengeful Stars, which is going to buff up my shooting. Do I have to choose a directive now? Probably should. I'll check the rules. So who's the idiot who just spent a minute talking to his phone that wasn't even recording? Yeah, so we'll do that again briefly. ATV shot at Necron Warriors, killed 2, 1 came back through reanimation. The Outriders shot at the Cryptothors, clinking a wound off, but he's going to get that back next turn probably. Now we're going to line up some charges, maybe. So end of turn 1, movement phase for Necrons. Fairly cautious start here. Warriors haven't moved. Neither has the Plasmancer. And the Reaper Warriors have just shuffled up a bit to behind this barricade. Nothing in range of their 12-inch assault weapons, unfortunately, but decided not to move too far forward because the Assault Intercessors are lurking just beyond that crane. At the end of the movement phase, the Plasmancer opened up with his Harbinger of Destruction ability, throwing out wild gouts of plasma into the enemy lines. We rolled quite well. We got 3 4-ups, so that was 3 mortal wounds on the closest visible enemy unit. So, yeah, the plasma has lanced into the ATV, torn a chunk out of its armor plating. And, you say it started on 8 wounds?
8 wounds.
Okay.
Chunky boy.
I'll just change that to a 5
Do
then.
you want to count down?
Yeah, it's just easier so you can see like which ones are like close to death. So it's the end of the Necron's shooting phase. The Plasmancer, after blasting the ATV with his Harbinger of Destruction ability, shot with his Plasmic Lance, stripped another wound off, or another couple of wounds, was it?
Yeah.
So we,
so we 6 on him.
Yeah, we put him down from 8 to 5 with the ability, and down from 5 to 3 with the shooting, and then the Immortal shot chipped another wound off, but largely didn't do much damage with the Gauss Flayers.
Managed some incredible saves.
Yes.
The first great rolls of the game.
Yes, Imperial Fist Armor doing the job. Unfortunately, you might notice a gap in the middle here. My Overlord, Acerak, used his Tachyon arrow to erase one of the bikes from time. So we dropped down to 2 in the middle here, and we're not doing any charging, so that is the end of my turn. Okay, battle round 2 into the Space Marines' turn. So at the start of the battle round, the Space Marines switch to Tactical Doctrine, so this is going to give you bonus AP on your rapid-fire weapons. And for the Necrons, the Protocol of the Hungry Void became active, so as a Novok Dynasty, this is my favoured one, so I'll get to do both directives from this one, so we're looking to get up close and personal. However, the Space Marines are pushed forward. The 2 Outriders are lining up a point-blank shoot and execute on the Plasmancer and his bodyguards, as the ATV is rolled forward to also take aim at the Plasmancer. That's what it seems like, so he's definitely going to be under some heavy fire this turn. The Captain has pushed up the middle, potentially up a charge here, and then the Assault Intercessors shuffled around just to claim that objective. You charging these guys, do you think?
I don't know.
It's going to be a long bomb from there.
Oh, it's doable, I guess, on a 10.
Okay. Yeah, so possible charges, but we've got to do shooting first. So, end of the shooting phase, some pistol shots whipping out against the warriors here. Only one taken out of action, the other one came back on reanimation protocols. But you'll notice a suspicious gap in my lines. The Outriders and the ATV just let loose on the Plasmancer and his bodyguards and blew them away. Not even living metal could stand up to the fusillade of bolt rounds.
They were absolutely triggered at the loss of their battle brother.
Rest
in peace. Rest in peace in time somewhere in the warp.
Yeah, they are taking no prisoners now. Yeah, charges. Okay, charges happened, fighting happened, and suddenly my army is looking a lot thinner. So the after destroying the Plasmancer, the Outriders charged up the rim of the crater to the Necron warriors, holding point on the objective. They cut down a few, but some saves and some reanimation meant that only a couple of Necron warriors fell. The ATV unfortunately fluffed its charge, so it's sitting there waiting.
Twice.
Yeah, even after the reroll.
Snake Eyes and then a 3.
Yeah, the Assault Intercessors and the Captain, however, absolutely wrecked the squad of Reaper warriors over here, both making their charges, and with some ludicrous amount of attacks from the Intercessors. 29, wasn't it? Yeah, they cut down all but one of the Reaper warriors. So yeah, it's not looking great on this flank, but Acerec there is looking to start getting in there and hewing down some of these yellow interlopers next turn. But yeah, the Imperial Fists certainly have a commanding presence of the board, pushing the Necrons right up back into their deployment zone. Yeah, this is going to be a tough comeback. Quick addendum, the Necron Warriors fought back. Being Novok, I hope they might do something. Got buffed up with the dynastic code. The command protocol was helping them out. We even put blood rights on them for an additional attack. We got 4 wounds through, but with a roll of 4 6s in a row, they saved them all.
Double boxcar.
That was pretty tasty. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some hard work in the next turn. Okay, so we are at the end of the Necrons fight phase. Nothing really happened much in the movement phase or the shooting phase. The charge phase, the Overlord went wading into the Assault Intercessors and was cut down. He survived the first round of attacks by the Assault Intercessor, putting them down to 2, but these Marines were out for blood, or oil, I guess, in this case, and honoured the chapter. 2 command points, fought again at the end of the fight phase, and took the remaining 2 wounds off Acerec, the apparently undying. That is maybe not...
He's just gone, he's not dying, he'll be back.
Yeah, back to his phase, back to his status crypt aboard the tomb ship, and now with a serious grudge against the Imperial Fists. So yeah, that's the end of round 2. I mean, we could carry on, but given that this is the remainder of my force up against this sea of yellow, I think it'd just be wise to concede here.
I'm counting this.
Yeah. So yeah, end of the game. We only made it to round 2, but it was 20 points to 10 plus whatever Chris could get for the remaining 3 turns, which I'm going to assume is a lot. So agendas, I don't think we mentioned. So we both picked the one where we picked a unit, and it was like, if it survives, you get 2 experience points. If it's over half strength or half wounds, you get an additional 2. So we both picked our warlords, the captain and overlord. The captain is alive and well over half health.
Spruce Arcturus,
yeah,
up his name. And
the overlord is no more. So yeah, that'll be bonus experience for Spruce Arcturus there. The Acerec is off regenerating his living metal body. And you get some bonus stuff for the mission, I think.
Yeah, I think that you read that you can choose the experience upgrade, quest for greatness twice, or something kind of along those lines.
Yeah, let's find it in rulebook here.
Marked for greatness, you can choose the same unit twice, I believe,
Flippity.
if you were the victor of this scenario.
Flippity, flippity, flippity. Cool. No.
Two more flips. There you go.
Sweeping player. So victor bonus. The victor. So 2 units of the army is to be marked for greatness. We need to figure out how all that works, and we'll add up some numbers, and yeah, we'll see how these units and characters have leveled up after this battle. So just totting up the experience here at the end of the battle. The Necrons got their participation experience, so they are slowly getting better, but no one's leveled up yet. The Necron warriors here were marked for greatness because they were the only ones that did their job this game by holding on to that objective throughout the entire battle and defending it against the squad of bikes and the ATV. However, the Imperial fists have leveled up significantly. They've the victory condition for this mission meant Chris could mark for greatness twice. So yeah, some experience points have been spread around, and because of his agenda with the bonus points, his warlord has gained a rank. He is now blooded. So he successfully defended this construction site from the xenos interlopers. So we did the battle honors. Chris chose battle trait to give to his warlord, and then we rolled on the table, and we got heroic constitution. Add 1 to the wounds characteristic of one character in this unit. And
just fitting the theme absolutely perfectly here.
Yeah, so adding on to your relic and your warlord trait that beefs him up, he's now up to 9 wounds.
9 wounds. Yeah.
This guy
9
is an
wounds.
absolute unit. We're gonna need some serious firepower to remove him from the table, or something very deadly in close combat.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm gonna have to bring next time.
Some destroyers are going to have to come into the fray for sure.
Yeah, they weren't quite ready for this game, but next game I think we may need to bring out the big guns.
Now you're just dripping with painting incentive too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna paint up all the really deadly stuff now.
That's the best part about playing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's more can be added to the roster, but the Necrons are going to have to delve deeper into this planet to unlock some of the of deadly weapons from the vault beneath the surface. And they're going to have to do a lot better to push back the Imperial Fist if they hope to gain a foothold on this planet. So, yeah, there you go. That was our first Crusade game. And it was slightly hectic because we forgot rules all over the place, but we're going to cut all those out in editing, so this thing should hopefully flow a little bit better. And yeah, the Marines are extremely powerful, much more powerful than I was expecting. We're going to need a lot more than warriors to push these guys back. But yeah, I thought it went really well, and there was
yeah, I thought so too.
Like, yeah,
a lot of fun.
those outriders just charging across the table.
Yeah, I guess on such a small map too, they've got really, I mean, an incredible presence with a 14-inch base move range, and then a guaranteed 6 on the advance roll after that if you're gonna go that way. So
Yeah,
you have 20-inch on the movement, and then you're just laying in the bolter fire. Right
I think if it wasn't for that crater, you could have been up in my grill turn 1 quite easily.
Probably.
But yeah, all right. So yeah, next time we'll see what the Necrons' retribution will be. So I'm filming this a couple of days later. Realised at the end of the battle we forgot to do the out of action tests for the units that got destroyed. So what this basically means is you roll a dice, and on a 2+, that unit is fine. It can come back for the next battle. But if you roll a 1, you have the choice of either losing experience points or gaining a battle scar. So I lost quite a few units in the battle. So I'll roll for each one at a time, and on a roll of a 1, we'll see what happens. So rolling for the Crypto Thralls, Igor and Lurch. That's a 2, scrape by. And for Irazar, the Plasmancer, He rolls a 1. Okay, we'll figure out what to do with him in a second. Rolling for Phalanx 001, otherwise known as the Revenants. They're all a 3, they're fine. And finally rolling for Asarak the Undying. He rolls a 2, he is also fine. So the multi-melter and bolt shells obviously did a number on Plasmancer Irazar's living metal body and suffered a serious setback because of it. Now, in the rulebook you have a choice of either a devastating blow or a battle scar. It says you can choose, but I think it'd be more fun to roll for it, so let's roll another dice, see what we get. It's a 5. So I probably should have specified before I rolled the dice. On a 1 to 3, it was going to be devastating blow, and on a 4 to 6, it was going to be gain a battle scar. I rolled a 5, so we're going to do a battle scar. So we've got a 1 to 6 table here for character units in the main rulebook, and in the Necron Codex we have a Canoptech specific battle scar as well. So I'm going to roll a d8. On a 1 to 6 it'll be the main rulebook, on a 7 it'll be the Canoptech specific one here, and on an 8 I'll just re-roll the dice. So what battle scar does he gain? It's a 6, it'll be main rulebook. Loss of reputation. If this unit has any aura abilities on its data sheet, the range of these aura abilities is reduced by 3. So I don't think he has any aura abilities. No, it's just his Harbinger of Destruction. But he cannot be affected by any aura abilities either. I don't think that's a bad one to get actually, because I don't think that affects him very much, but might come into play further down the line. So yes, everyone else managed to recover from their wounds and regenerate to fight another day. Plasmancer Irazar has suffered a loss of reputation. Okay folks, that's it. Thank you very much for watching our first Crusade battle report. This was a lot of fun to film actually, so we're going to be doing it again in a couple of weeks' time when we meet again for our second Crusade game. Yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.